la nostra università un ambiente calmo e tranquillo, fino a quando arrivano le elezioni studentesche. Allora lì è guerra, tutti contro tutti, per chi riuscirà a prevalere sull'altro. E qual è la nostra soluzione? Pochi secondi di tempo ciascuno e 2 temi da affrontare. Chi ne sarà vincitore? O forse meglio dire, chi sopravviverà alla gabbia dei leoni?
Hello everyone, I'm Raffaele Procaro, an international student on PM first year, and I'm today running for departments under Astra's list and Camila Raspino for the CBA. I'm head of events in Astra Bocconi, and today I'm here to debate with Bilal on different various topics about the department council.
Hello everyone, my name is Valentina Micheli. I'm a first year transformative sustainability student, and in the bachelor I was a student in international politics and government. I've been part for 4 years of European Generation, and right now I'm the president of the association, and I'm also part of Bilassa. Today I'm here with Raffaele for the debate on departments, and obviously I'm running for the departments and for the development action CDA.
So as we all know, we all come from different places. Even if you're an Italian student, you come from different educational systems. I myself have lived in 4 different countries, and I've seen from multiple different ways of study and teaching. Arriving in Bocconi can be a challenge, and many people feel like there is differences between people arriving from France, United States, even from Italy. And a lot of students came up to me telling me that there were disadvantages. As an example, in the math course, Math 1 and Math 2 in first year of my program, EM, a lot of people feel like as a French, there's an advantage because we have studied proofs before, whereas as a British, there is a disadvantage because there's never done proof like this. Nowadays, it is important for us as a student representation association to limit this disadvantage, to get everyone starting Bocconi from day one to an equal state so that we all have the same chances to get excellent grades in our exams. This process will be hard, but it is not impossible. Bocconi has started doing pre-courses, which is a good step, but it must be included in every single course. Furthermore, I think that we can change the way some courses are taught so that it implements different ways of teaching that we can see around the globe. A simple example is macroeconomics. Nowadays, macroeconomics is a lot about lectures and teachers speaking and students taking notes, whereas it could be more about simulations, practical examples, world examples of the current state of the world. These different slight changes could bring a real difference and make everyone feel like they've got the same chances and not people feeling they've got a disadvantage because they're coming from abroad, they're coming from a different school, different teachers, different way of learning stuff.
Okay, so thank you, Raffaele. As a person who has been struggling a lot in the first years, obviously I agree with the fact that there are several disadvantages at the beginning when someone starts Bocconi, for sure. At the same time, I think that Bocconi gives a lot of opportunities. You mentioned during your speech that there is not enough help during the courses of maths. Actually, as someone that did international politics and government, there was help from the Department of Maths, and obviously they helped out in understanding mathematics. So I don't know what your point was in terms of increasing the courses for math on that side. Obviously, there are a lot of issues in the first year because they enter, and I agree with the fact that there are disadvantages. A proposal that we have as BLAB is to increase also the help for softwares in general, also for courses during the other years. For example, for statistics, there have been several complaints from students that studies, for example, in BES, regarding the help in the use of softwares and also in the third years for elective courses on that side. There is a lot of help also with extra courses, but obviously as BLAB we want to add help in the extracurricular courses, for example, the ones that are offered both by the IT or the language center, and obviously the help that might be given to students on this side from it should be comprehensive for all the departments in general. There has been a lot of disadvantages also as a person who has studied more maths in a department of political science, but I think that in general, there is a lot of help on this side, and not all the pre-courses and not all the courses have to be even among the different departments.
Firstly, I never said that there wasn't enough help. I said that the help should be wider. We should have more help throughout different courses. For example, not only math, not only a math pre-course. You can do pre-courses in different subjects. Second, you finish your speech saying that you shouldn't have an even ground for every subject. I feel like this is completely off the track. People are struggling. People are asking for help throughout classes. And you are here standing in front of us saying that they shouldn't be even. Why should we take people that are coming from abroad, which have a past in education, which struggle, and not help them? That's my question to you. How is it possible that people coming from different countries, even Italians, they don't have the help that we can offer when they struggle?
I think that in general, answering the question, the necessities that different people coming from different courses are, it's different. Like, obviously, someone coming from a management course needs a certain level of preparation that is different from someone coming from an economics course. And for that, I meant even out. Because, for example, I mean even obviously in terms of how much they are getting, but some courses need more help in some sides, and some courses need more help on the other side. Considering finance, they need more help in some sort of mathematics that may be invested, not necessary, or in BM2. So why would you even up the help in different courses, even though the subject of study is different? Obviously, there is the need for an even out, but not the same for every course. That is our position. Okay, so in the past 4 years, I've been talking with a lot of people and discussing with a lot of people regarding what are the issues, and mainly the issues are regarding the evaluation methods. First of all, because we personally think that they are not consistent among the different courses. In general,
Why?
I accept
Could you define evaluation methods?
the grading of the exams and also the grading of group projects and extra points.
Perfect.
So the evaluation methods in general are not consistent among different professors in the same course, and also at the same time, they're not consistent among the different courses. Like, for example, an exam of statistics, which is more or less the same between different courses in the first year or in the second year, has different ways of using the same software, or like using a different core projects, and they are not consistent. Not all of the professors explain how can we get the cum laude in the final exam. Some of them, it's kind of like depending on the professor, and the evaluation methods in general, also for oral exams, has been like quite not consistent. As previously also done the work by our representatives in the departments, like Emerita Magliaro and also Antonio Russo for the different departments, but also Giulia Gambatella in the legal studies. They have been working a lot in helping out all the departments in general, and first and foremost, also on the evaluation side. Obviously, there is still work to do, there is still room for improvement, and in general, the things that have been said by the things that have been proposed by BLAB in the past years for evaluation methods, they are not really, they have been heard, but at the same time, they can be improved. We as BLAB believe that there has to be more consistency among the different evaluation methods. For example, in group projects, they are not the same among the different courses. Then also the different group projects, sometimes they overlap with other group projects on different courses. There is not that much of talking between professors in the same course, and this is also kind of like makes the people struggle and makes the students struggle on these matters. Hence, there has to be work on this side for all the departments on this matter. Also considering the fact that the syllabuses, some of them, and not obviously all of them, are not consistent, do not describe specifically how the evaluation methods are done. And considering also my experience in different other universities, such as at the Politecnico di Milano, I can see that in some cases Bocconi has still a lot of room of improvement on this matter. Hence, we at BLAB believe that there has to be an improvement on the consistency and on the fairness of the grading system, both on the side of exams and also on the side of group projects and quizzes and extra points.
So you've mentioned the unfairness of evaluation methods. It is undeniable that nowadays we've got different ways of grading different people's work. And I feel like if we come back to the root of this unfairness, which is simply the fact that we have throughout different classes, different professors. And when it comes down to one human grading a group project, for example, it is undeniable that we will have that person, that teacher, will have different view on how this group project did, how this other group project did. Another simple example, you mentioned legal, and for example, in a first year, the legal exam is mainly open questions. Open questions is a part for us students to have some freedom to express something in the way that we want to express it. It is obvious that there is not one correct answer, but a wide range. So when grading these types of questions and these types of exercises, where there's a wide range of correct answers and correct ways of doing, it is sure that there will be unfairness. Now, how to limit it?
Are you suggesting to introduce more multiple choice exams?
I'm not suggesting that at all. I'm suggesting that, in my opinion, the way to reduce the unfairness and the way that we want to do it is by putting a system, for example, a grid, where teachers will have to understand if a certain student matches a large grid and if that work corresponds to what is awaited by the teachers and what could lead to a good grade. If everybody is under the same grade and that everyone's work has to achieve this certain point of like what is seen as good, everyone will understand how they can work properly to make a good work, and every teacher will have to base themselves on this to grade it more fairly. Now, obviously, there has to be biases, and there has to be, in a way, the teacher's opinion to come through when grading.
As far as you said that there has to be a grading system in which there is like a match between what the student has said and what like the perfect answer would be. By stating this, I assume that you think that this system is still not in place, so which I think that it's kind of unfair with respect to what the professor's work is. But obviously, I agree with you that there has to be more fairness on this side, but having like more like a grading system depending on the open questions, I feel that there has to be more open questions on that side, because reducing obviously the exams to a multiple choice or to something that is kind of yes or no, it kind of reduces and destroys our critical thinking and management of the knowledge that we get from university.
The question of unfairness is not resumed to open answers or multiple choice question. That is nonsense. But in my opinion, you're coming here saying that there is unfairness, which I totally agree with, and your answer to this is increasing the amount of what is the source of this unfairness, which is questions where there is a possible bias from the teacher when grading. Open answers, for example. When I read, for example, an open answer of a classmate, and when he reads mine, we're going to have different views on which is good, which is better, which has flaws. So when you want to reduce the unfairness when grading, the best way is to limit the blur there is behind these open answers. This blur comes from the fact that everyone can write anything and everything can be considered as a good answer. To limit this blur, as said earlier, we have to put in a system where teacher can rely on this system, for example, a grid or tick box, where if the student has ticked a certain amount of what is awaited in the answer, then the teacher can put a certain grade, and then based on what they read and on what they think, they can add or subtract points. This is obviously already in place, but it can be reinforced. So what I don't understand from your position is that you're blaming unfairness in the grading system, yet you want to increase what is the source of the unfairness. These questions where there's an infinitely many possible good answers, you want to put more, and thus creating an even greater unfairness, even greater blur between what is good, what is right, what is wrong. This is why, from our point of view, we want to make everything more stable and then let the teacher add or reduce points and make this clearer to students.